All right, we are up. And we're at least up on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube!
And now we're about to go live. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody! Yeah.
This is what happens when you still use old-fashioned headphones.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to pay for the fancy new ones.
Don't worry, we'll eventually get to the fancy new ones. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone in TikTok land. Hello.
Top.
We're down to 2 weeks.
2 weeks? What?
Yep.
Oh my god.
2 weeks to the broadcast.
Oh my god, Lynn. Oh my god.
Yep. Oh my god.
My god.
Da 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 da.
Boop, boop. I guess I should join the fun. Hold up.
All right, we've got what? Your thing is still trying to send me AirDrop.
Don't look at me, man.
So would you? How about this? How about restart the computer? That way
I gotta first get into the computer.
Exactly. We've been doing so much heavy work. She's been doing music work and lyric work and singing work and voiceover work.
Let me tell you.
Well, I have.
It
It's
gets
like
into the time zone.
it's coming up on the screen.
Right into the time zone.
There we go.
All right. Anything else, Master?
I'm actually just going to complain that the issue comes down to the lovely people at Apple. When AirDrop works, it's a thing of beauty. When AirDrop doesn't work, it turns into...
Fartastic.
Yes. Da-da-da-da.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So good morning to everyone who's been coming into Rage. And who do you got here? Voot and Felipe and everyone else. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, we're putting on the glove.
Leap meep. Alrighty, leap meep.
Hey, Leap Meep.
Leap meep.
We are double checking the YouTube stream here.
Sorry.
How are we doing here?
Put in the thing.
We're streaming well. We're coming into your homes, into your phones, whether you want to or not.
That doesn't sound good.
I know. Well, the big deal right now is obviously we are in a state of lockdown, and I'm basically just sitting here by the computer 24/7. We're not doing the day job stuff. Right now, we have still working on our voiceover stuff, putting in lots of recordings throughout the past week as we finalize voices or go back and tweak something. We are very lucky that we have our own audio booth right here in our back office, which used to be a dark room once upon a time, before we even moved here years ago.
Hey, Jaspi.
And I thought, let's just walk through the process of one of the specialized shots that I need to work off of here. So, as you guys can see right here.
Hey, Jed, not Jedediah.
Hello. I'm working on a shot right here.
Hi, Andy.
This is still just the...
Hi, Angel DeVille.
Well, hey, we got a lot of people coming in. Hello. We are working on the converting this rough storyboard into the a more finalized shot.
Hi, Blair.
As much as some people like watching the old animatics.
Oh, wow. Too many people to say hi to.
Hello, too many people to say hi to.
Just popping in to take a peek. What the hell are we up to?
Exactly.
Right, Monster?
So the idea right now is that this is our timeline at this point, with lots and lots of stuff just worked up to a major sequence right now. We have 3 vocal layers, 3 layers of voiceover.
Thank you for the like, Angel.
Thank you.
Hi, Jamal. Hi. Sneaky Diseased. There's so many coming in. Hey, Daddy Boy.
Any questions?
Daddy Boy. And Detective. Okay, I like that name a lot.
Detective.
We all know about
Quack,
that.
quack.
Quack.
The color codings you'll see here is to help differentiate some of the voices. Yellow is obviously Bob Belcher, SpongeBob. The pinks and purples are the kids. Green here is for Plankton, Jimmy Pesto. Excuse me. We have a lot of stuff going on here, but I'm going to...
Which software are you in right now?
This is Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro. Very cool.
Yep.
Okay. Sunshine shenanigans.
Big surprise. Someone who his day job works a lot in Photoshop and InDesign and Illustrator. I've got the whole Adobe suite, so almost the whole Adobe suite. Because why go out and spend extra money on? Well, although I did used to, there was a time many years ago when Adobe was going to drop, or at least threatening to kind of drop Premiere. I think it was like version 6. So we're talking like decades ago, and it caused a lot of people to get really nervous. And Apple took advantage of the situation by coming in with this relatively new thing called Final Cut Pro and Final Cut Studio, and they had the answer to After Effects called Motion, which just fell apart. They had their answer to Lightroom and stuff called Aperture, and I remember way back in the 2000s, I went to a full-on day class with Aperture with the art director at Variety, and we learned all that stuff. Only to a year later, Aperture suddenly wasn't being supported very well anymore. So, but
what are we talking about? Software?
Yep, software, fun stuff. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm taking this track. I want to take this vocal track of SpongeBob panicking about the rent and move it into the audio layer for Animate. So I figured, well, follow along, and here we go. So I set an in and out point here on the timeline to get this line here.
What, Lynn? Our rent is 3 months late. 3 months late. Mr. Fisher is on his way.
So we've got...
Oh, you let him hear a little bit.
A little bit.
Uh-oh.
I know. So the idea here is that, okay, that's great, but I need to lip sync with that as SpongeBob is panicking. So set an in and out point, and I'm just going to go to a... Now you're just seeing a blank screen. Isn't that exciting? Because I'm just doing the sound, and I don't really have... I don't need the rough video underneath it. But I need to call it a name. And let's see. And what I need to have done is to have seen what shot this is. So I've got these shot numbers here in the corner. That is one way of keeping track of all the insanity, because you can't just say SpongeBob voice, SpongeBob voice, SpongeBob voice, and go, wait, which one do I need? So in this case...
SpongeBob. Oh, thank you for all the hearts, you guys. We
love
the hearts. I know.
Thank you. So
it's
zero...
so meaningful.
So this is a shot 0 to N. And so when I go back to exporting it, I have to hit...
Hey, everybody's coming through. Where are you
Hello.
guys at today, man? We're out in Los Angeles.
Yep, it's starting to rain.
The hurricane has begun.
It's the hurricane episode.
We're like, guys, you know.
Let's see.
At first, I was a little concerned, but then it was like, yeah, no, it's probably
Panic.
going to just be a little sprinkle for us. So the only problem is that in LA, remember, nothing is properly drained out here. A, and B, no one knows how to drive in rain.
O2
So
N.
it's actually the most dangerous the first several hours when it rains in LA, because that's when the rain mixes with the oil on the street and hasn't washed away yet, and everybody's driving like maroons, and they're slipping and sliding. So that's when usually all the bad stuff happens.
Yep.
After that, then it's pretty okay.
Yep.
Bronson Rodeback and Veronica Archer have come into the room, and I probably said that wrong. Hi, Ariel Moss and Mari/Vin and Braden Wilson and Annalie Kurnock and Liz. And I'm just going to say names all day.
There you go. So what we got over here is a bunch of the background plates that we have been painting in Photoshop. And the one that I want to be working with right now as Photoshop, as the beta kicks into gear.
I want to work with you all night. Work until we get it done.
All right, so...
Work with you.
So this is still in a rough painting mode. Let's see if we got any that are in. So for example, this one is more fully painted. This is whenever we're shooting the camera over at the kids on the opposite side, typical Bob's Burgers episode where they're in the restaurant. Louise is going to be on a barrel, so you can actually see her, otherwise she'd be too low for the counter. And then Jean and Tina will be flanking.
Hi, Dutch.
Hello, Dutch.
Hi, Miss Al.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Dylan Lewis.
So let's see. Let's go into...
I don't know how to say that.
Let's go into Animate. We're going to make a new shot.
Anybody here also in Los Angeles or the LA area? Anyone else getting ready for the hurricane? Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like after everything that's been going on, like in Maui and everything, it's like, we're like, oh, a little rain. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Let's see. I need to go into my audio. I'm waking up here. Reference audio, no. Even when you try and get really good at your file system and numbering system, eventually it's like, okay, does a temp render go into this kind of place, or do the final ones go in the same spot? Why do I have? One moment, please. I'm just noticing that I've been having the red lines from OBS still rendering on the front screen, because we changed it to saying the ticker in the middle here is now in 2 weeks instead of just saying, coming soon.
Coming soon.
Coming sooner than sooner soon.
Okay. Just let all my friends on the other things know. On
the other things.
Uh-huh.
Okay, first things first.
On?
I need to.
First things first.
First things first. I need to bring in that backdrop.
Hello, Felipe Pontecorvo.
Oh.
That's pretty. So I think they have proven, right, for the Maui thing, that it was an electrical problem. It's another, like what PG&E did in California.
Okay.
Are you guys following this? It's crazy.
All right. Animation talk. It's like.
Okay, so.
I mean, California.
How many people here know how to animate? Because I don't. What else can we talk about? Cartoons. Well, there's
cartoons. Yes, cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about blaming power companies.
I'm in the room with my dad
That's
again.
not exactly Good morning.
It's
welcome.
an important topic to discuss, and people need to know. Okay, fine.
We'll is that the threshold? Well, then let's talk about the Biden presidency.
That is not nearly as important as what's going on in Maui right now. I'm sorry. Okay. Cartoons. Well, we finished the unicorn thing, right?
Yep.
Project Team Unicorn Murder
Murder Kill Eternal.
So cool. Yeah, Murder Kill Eternal.
Kill Eternal.
Loved that. Can't wait for more.
Yep.
We still need to finish watching Primal. I just don't want to watch the dinosaur die. The human can die, but I don't want to watch the dinosaur die. What else? I think there is a new Bob's Burgers out, and I have not watched it yet because I'm waiting for you, honey. Because I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is there a boob coming out? Yes. We'll button that up.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Hi, Sally Pants.
Hello.
Sally Pants. Oh, wow. Look at all those things you're showing. Yeah. Helps and kissing booth and...
Yeah,
you
just
guys, it's right there. I'm showing it.
It's already gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Uh-huh. Yep, all kinds of things.
Hi, Haley. Have some music.
So we're just going to do a quick temp background shot here. Actually, we're just going to save this as a JPEG. It's still unfinished, but for the purposes of today, we'll bring it in rough and then we can swap it out later. So we need to bring that in. So I need to go into the SBB. Everything is SpongeBob Burgers. SBB. Interior. So now I got to bring in this shot here. Ta-da. So what's the pool for today's energy?
Well, I've been already been shamed for talking about the wrong thing, so it's going fast.
We're being snarky too.
Yes.
So all right, fine. What do you want to talk about Maui?
Well, I don't know. Now I've lost the thread. But,
you said it was the power. You were talking about the power.
Buster Brown,
you were saying it was the power company.
Too late.
Oh well.
Too late to turn back now. I believe I might cut out early. Yeah. Okay, what else can we talk about?
Any
other have you seen any good new cartoons lately? Has anybody here watched any new good cartoons they recommend?
Hello, Dutch.
Or old ones?
Hello, Kimmy. Yeah, what new cartoons are floating your boat right now? They can be movies as well. We never
They can?
Yes, they can.
Well, then American Tail from 19 whatever the hell. I mean, that's a classic.
You just saw that?
No, but it's always in my mind. The moment when he hugs the kitty. When he's hugging the kitty's toe.
Never seen it.
You've
Yep.
How can you call yourself a lover of animation and not have seen an American Tail?
There is a flurry of, I think, typically mid to late 80s where I was so busy doing 5 million other things.
You were so busy. You were in high school, so you were too busy getting laid.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yes.
But you could have upped your numbers if you'd taken the ladies to see movies like An American Tail. Just saying.
Is that how you get American Tail?
Not mine, but yes.
Yes.
Slug the Glug. Hi, Slug the Glug.
Hello,
I like
Slug,
his
glug,
name.
glug, glug, glug. All right, we're going to extend this timeline out to 7 seconds.
Now, I did not go see All Dogs Go to Heaven. No, I think I did, because it has that great Billy Joel song, but the dog dies. I mean, nope.
I'm guessing that is the only way to get to heaven.
No, you tell you
You just go, I want to go, and you're there.
Well,
and the dogs are happy because
if
they
you've
all were
seen,
there.
The baseball movie.
I haven't.
Hold on. It's Field of Dreams.
Yes, which I haven't.
You haven't seen Field of Dreams?
No.
Okay, this whole episode today is going to be about what the hell is wrong with Tommy not seeing these movies. Field of Dreams is so...
Yeah, but I'm
glad my dad's dead.
No.
He would be like,
You know,
owning you right now is his son-in-law.
It's the unfortunate thing of when you're in your mid to late teens and
so you're still getting laid.
Yes. But the whole spiel of that is...
You could have gotten more ladies if you'd taken them to the
Field of Dreams.
Do you see a pattern here?
Yeah, but being an action sci-fi freak, and look, I famously...
Now I'm seeing a teenage you just like, action sci-fi, action sci-fi, action sci-fi, action sci-fi. Action sci-fi.
The funny truth of it is that despite the fact that Star Wars, still ranks, big surprise with a Gen X nerd boy, still ranks the #1 movie in my. If you give me a list of, yes, there are
which
better
Star
crafted.
Wars is the #1 Star Wars?
The Star Wars. I'm not saying Empire. I'm not saying
number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4.
So A New Hope. It in terms of like influence and effect and inspiration, yada yada.
I'm not gonna touch your precious keyboard.
No. But the idea of it all is, but the funny thing is that when the movie was first announced, so I'm only, let's see, comes out in May of '77, so I'm still 6 at the time. Holy crap, I'm 6 years old, But here's the deal. So they said, do you want to see Star Wars? And I honestly thought at the time it was just simply a war movie. Because World War II movies, the Vietnam War movies, I don't think we're even starting to hit yet. But you're a kid in the early mid 70s, and it sounded like my folks were like you want to go see a war movie? I'm like, no. So I kid you not, while my family went to see this new thing called Star Wars. And I think even my grandparents went with them, but whoever it was, they all went to go see Star Wars. I went to go see The Rescuers.
The Rescuers is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, well that brings it back a little bit of clout.
So what's
I love
funny?
The Rescuers, remember? Again, these movies were all about abuse and stuff. Like that little girl was an orphan, and that mean lady with the red hair was dropping her down into that hole to get the gem, and there was a evil crocodile and.
Now that's not the sequel, though, is it? No, the sequel is the one in
Rescuers
Australia, Down Under.
Australia.
Yep. So yeah, so that's all. So I love the movie, fan of animation. Went and saw it. So that's what I saw. My family comes out and they go, "Oh my God, you would have loved this movie. It was one of the best things ever. This is so your kind of movie, Tommy." But it's like, oh man. So I had to wait a whole month because look, back in the '70s,
there was this thing called anticipation.
Well, yes,
we need to get back to that.
But it was also the thing of it. There was no local cinema. Well, there was, but as a lot of people can remember, once upon a time, your local cinema was the place that they were called third run houses. So after the movie would be playing in Minneapolis or New York or Seattle, wherever it was, eventually would come to the local hometown theater. But by then, the movie had already been out 3 months, if not longer.
Kind of like Ralph Lauren fashions making their way to TJ Maxx.
Sure. Yeah. Apropos.
Yes.
But the general gist of it was that I had to wait an extra month of anticipation going, and then finally went to see it, and my mind was blown. But by then I had turned 7, so I was actually 7 because I think I saw it at the end, near the end of June, where everyone else was seeing it in May. So. But hey, that's what happens when you're just a Midwestern kid in the 70s.
Yep.
All right, so we have the background, but now we need to add the audio. We need to add Bob. So, Bob.
Hey, Jesse Murray.
Hello. So I'm going to go to a shot where Bob currently resides, and I've been working on him. Bob and Linda. Here we go.
Oh, Bob and Linda.
Oh, Bob and Linda, spinny wheel, as it brings in a lot of scenes for this one.
A friendly construction worker has popped in. I like that.
Yeah! He can build it.
As opposed to not friendly construction workers, which, I don't know. They're all pretty friendly.
I'm not getting any audio on this. That's because the layer is turned off.
Shut us down.
Oh, it's right in that same spot. So, I'm going to take Bob from here.
Spob.
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 Bob! Oh, Bob!
Yeah.
Guess he's gonna...
Na.
So we go over to the library.
Got that thing. He's your best friend. Hey, Reed, 1998. What up? Because I'm Georgia Reed, so I like that name. Yeah.
Let's see. So we have our background layer.
Ooh.
And we name our stuff. This is going to be our audio layer to bring in the voice. And then we need to bring in Bob. And so we go,
Bobby.
but we got to go to the other library. And we bring in Bob. And of course, Bob is missing his legs.
He doesn't need 'em.
As happens. And
No legs for you.
we save the shot. So from earlier, we learned that this was scene 02N.
That sounds like homework.
Yep. O2N. And I just give it some kind of like name with it. So Bob panics. And then save that in my scene shots. Of course, Bob is panicking throughout a great deal of this early episode, as both Bob and SpongeBob are apt to do, are wont to do. Okay, why can't I? There we go. So step 1, scale him to a level that makes sense. Also, let's turn this on. Are we even going to make it 30 minutes?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just watching you do stuff.
All right. Watch along. As...
Look, I've started a couple of combos here. What else? Gee, what else?
So, so no one has replied at all? No one's been taking
No.
our prompts?
No.
What are you, worse than AI out there? Come on, folks. What cartoons are you watching? Where are you calling
There
in
you go.
from?
That's going to work really well. Badger the audience into saying something.
Yes. Yes, talk to us.
Don't listen to him. He's Gen X.
Oh, I'm sorry, someone who celebrates her by being a Xennial with an X.
Still different.
Oh, well, aren't we unique?
Yep.
Yep.
What's your favorite
Don't-
color?
Wait, what's your favorite color?
Uh-huh.
Hey, people coming in, what's your favorite color?
And what's your favorite color?
You know what my favorite color
But
is.
they don't know.
They don't know. Maybe they don't need to know. Maybe they don't want to know.
See, okay.
Maybe they don't.
Guys,
they don't
this
care
is like
to
the
know.
worst date ever. Yes. Sass.
Sassafras.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Thomas. Oh, something.
Hello.
Yeah. I rewatched the movie Waking Ned Divine. It is so good. Have you ever seen Waking Ned Divine?
Is that one of those independent over in like Wales or Scotland or someplace?
Ireland.
Yeah, and it's usually a bunch of old
Yes.
folks.
And so
Yep.
they're actually talented and
Yes.
funny. 'Cause
Well,
they're
there's that, too.
Funny to look at. So get this. So it's a town. It's like a little village, and there's like 50 people in it, and they're watching the lottery. They all, everyone plays the lottery. Well, then someone wins. They find out in the paper.
But-
someone
but
in the
the
village
person
has
is-
won.
but then the
good
person-
dude is dead.
Yep.
Then they have to try and like pretend someone else is him. It's so cute.
Yep.
Hilarity ensues.
Yep.
It is so sweet.
It's amazing how many of those films became part of the zeitgeist in the 90s
That's
and
what
early
we need
2000s.
again. That's what everyone's talking about. We
Take
need
a bunch
those
of old
movies.
people,
Uh-huh.
have them. What I think
No more Marvel,
they,
man.
they ran through a whole bunch of
No
stuff like,
more Marvel.
okay, so what if one dies? What if they don't? What if they don't die and they all stay young? Cocoon. What if one dies and wins the lottery? Waking Dead Divine. What if one needs to? What if they need some money to make a calendar? And what do they call that one? The Calendar Girls.
Holy crap! Wow.
It was a whole thing.
Well, they're good.
Well, that was the thing, and
I was a little kid and I enjoyed that stuff, man.
yeah, but what was
I
but from an independent film point of view, you had something that was foreign, at least to American audiences. You had talented actors, but more often than not, ones that were not fetching $10 million fees, and in some cases hadn't been been on film in years, if not decades.
Yep.
So you bring in a great talented cast,
Yep.
but you don't have, if you're an independent filmmaker, you're not spending millions and millions and millions to do it.
No, just
you're
a
having
couple million.
fun. They're usually good at improv. They're good at a lot of stuff.
What's considered independent now? Because now, I mean, budgets are like, this one was 600 million, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, what's indie now? 100 million?
It's turned into a thing where it's
Ridiculous.
well, the thing is that the studios, there used to be full on niches, at least in the studio system of you'd throw all your money in Star Wars 12 or Jaws 15. But you could also afford and get audiences for a buddy comedy, a romantic comedy, a film like an indie film, whether it's Kevin Smith doing something with young, relatively unknown actors at the time, or but the problem is that cable, like FX and all the extra channels, and then eventually streaming, kind of started edging in on all those territories.
Yeah.
Because you don't necessarily need to be in an IMAX screen to see a Meg Ryan comedy.
Yep, well, but, I think people are just getting done with all this nonsense and the streaming, and this cat, the cat wants to be in my lap, so we need to
Hey, he's going for his box.
prep the lap.
You took too long. I've got my box now.
Okay, buddy. Come on, get in the lap. Isn't this exciting? This is so thrilling, I know.
I know, it's live
Look,
TV like
we
you've
put
never
on
seen.
pants for you people.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Well, then, hello Nancy, hello Cool Guy, hello Rash. I was like, we're losing out on people.
There we go. Don't worry, they'll come back.
They'll come back.
They want to.
So what's going to entice them to come back?
Quality, personality. Including cats.
Including cats. Cats always bring in the crowds.
Cats too. Don't you be.
Black cats you can barely see in the frame.
Hey, cool guy, what's up? How you doing?
Hey. All right, so now what we have not brought in yet is that audio clip that I keep saying I'm going to bring in. So once again, we go to, not temp renders, not voiceover.
Kitty.
Pause for station identification as I go, where did I put the reference audio? No. Oh, when you lose track of your own stuff.
Cool guy, where are you at?
Yeah, cool guy.
Don't mean to put you on the spot. You can
Yeah, you
respond or not respond, but I'm mostly focused on the cat right now. Don't worry.
Please pause for station identification while I go to the... Where did I just export this? Temp renders for animate.
Happy kitty.
Where's everyone checking in from? Where you calling in from? Are you in the Southern California area getting
They
our
don't
first
wanna
tropical
answer.
storm?
That's a
And
secret.
it's a secret.
Yep.
I'm on TikTok, but I want to be secretive.
Yep.
And anonymous.
Secret TikTok. That's what this is. Trying hard to hide our location.
While you're being GPS tracked globally.
Hey, Bethany Berry.
Hello, Bethany Bear. Oh,
Bethany Berry.
Bethany Berry. My apologies.
And tacos and unicorns. Oh, I like tacos.
Temp
and
renders
unicorns.
for anime. Ah, that's it.
Cool guy's like, I'm at my house. Well done.
Yeah.
Well played.
All right. So, temp renders for anime. There we go. So there's the audio file I exported out of Premiere. And now,
What, Lynn? Our rent is 3 months late.
yeah, well, as you can see, it's got older animation overlaid on it, so I got to clear that out.
So again, you guys, this episode is going to premiere on September 3rd.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
So let's decide that while we're at it. So originally we were as the day was starting to come closer and closer. It's like, well, how big of a party do we do? How big of a live stream event do we do this time in 2 weeks when we will premiere the episode finally up on YouTube? So but we've been trying to think like, well, and we'll even ask you guys out there, what would be the best time on a Sunday, because it's going to be Labor Day weekend.
Yep. Hey, Shallow Hal.
Hello. So the whole thing is like we were trying to decide what is the best time to premiere it on Sunday, September 3rd. And the deal is that what are people going to be doing that day? They're going to be grilling, maybe they'll be visiting family, going to the beach. Church, but on top of everything else is the time zone. So a perfect time for California might be too late for New York, let alone Saudi Arabia or we've had people from Scotland and Australia or whatnot. So it sounds like we're probably just going to do something here, right?
Yep, probably.
So,
I don't know.
So the intent is like. And there's that also thing of the algorithm. The YouTube and TikTok algorithms that if you suddenly do a live stream or premiere event, are people more likely on a Sunday to do it, in the morning, regardless of where they are, or is it the afternoon? Yeah. So, any new opinions on any of that?
Nope. Just, it's 2 weeks away, and it'd be fun to watch with a whole group of people here, which would be like, part of our party, just throwing a party, and maybe here at the house, like around 4 p.m.
But that would be 7 p.m. New York.
See, this is the thing. Every time he's like, "What do you think?" So then I give my opinion, and then he goes, "Rah."
Well, this is a conversation. So is 7 p.m. too late for the New York people?
I don't think.
Do you have an opinion? Yes or no?
No, all I care about is when can I bring all my friends here to see it in person and we can all celebrate together. That's what I'm thinking about.
Okay, yeah. So 4 p.m. our time here.
Yeah.
So.
We totally know Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Great cartoon. I'm just answering.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I don't know. And no, in New York, I don't think that's too late at all.
Okay.
I think once you get on a Sunday, maybe past 10 p.m., then it's getting too late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you guys think? Do you think premiering it 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. New York time is a good time? So yay or nay? And then all right. I think you're making a good case. Her primary case is that no one in California wants to be up at 10 a.m.
Hi, cool guy. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah. Yes, that's still the...
Then no one wants to be awake at 10 a.m. on a Sunday?
Or no one wants to do something at 10 a.m. on a Sunday.
No, unless it's brunch right outside your door.
Right.
Right. That's about it.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, Bao-Bao's on the move.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, honey bunny? Oh, come stay. Stay for just a whittle long. Just another snuggle. No.
The cat says
snuggles.
no. Cat is done. Cat is done for the day.
Well,
He's going to investigate. He can't be out and about because it's sprinkling right now, so he's got to find his mischief elsewhere.
Yes, find your mischief.
Find your mischief. That's
good.
There's your slogan for.
That's what you put on your wall. None of this believe, live, love, laugh crap. Just find your mischief, or find your mistress, or find your. Myth.
Oh, we have one person over in YouTube who said, "Can't wait to see it." Sorry, the YouTube we get such a comparatively low energy, like one person comes in and silently watches for 10 minutes and says nothing.
Can you click your?
So Michaela Dickens,
No, you can't.
click what?
Nothing. It's okay. All right. Yes, respond to the YouTube person. That's fantastic. YouTube person. Oh, man. Yeah, I think it's going to be sleepy time for me soon.
What time did you wake up this morning, my love?
7.
Okay.
Yep.
So you've been up 3 hours.
Night.
Did you sleep well?
Nope.
Aww.
Yep.
All right. Finally, a response on YouTube. So hello again. And the rain is starting to pick up just that extra level. Trust me, folks in Florida and the West Coast and people who have actually dealt with real tropical storms and hurricanes far more often. Like a lot of things in California, there's a lot of hype and then kind of womp womp.
Yeah.
of course, we're saying that now at 10:30 in the morning when they say the full brunt of it is supposed to hit us at 5. So tune in at 5
Hitting it
o'clock.
at 5?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Just in time for you to be on the road.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So much fun. It's... And it also means that we might be getting too loud to do any audio work today. Because unfortunately, the back office area here is an addition that the lovely people who originally built this place put on a few years later, or several years later. But they did not insulate. They did not roof the same way they did for the main house. So it means that heat, cold, and rain, and sound in general just goes boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. Yep. But fortunately, the lovely Georgia, in waking up earlier, has already secured various things that would be soaked right now out there. So thank you very much.
It's time for sleepy time.
For those of you who are following along for the poll, are there any running polls today?
Just which character are you most like?
Ah, cool. Awesome. So which have you guys been responding to the poll? Which character you're most like?
I don't know. Hi, Kyle. What's up?
Hello.
Kyle's back for more.
Kyle's back for more.
Kyle's back for more.
So it's more rain, less caffeine day. Oh, but we do have, for those who are here for the infamous butterfly episode, now we're down to 0 viewers on YouTube.
We found a new caterpillar.
Yep. And she found a major monarch butterfly caterpillar. This guy...
It's huge, you guys. He's eating everything. Or she. No judgment.
Yeah.
Or they. This caterpillar is just going to town, man.
Yep. I don't know if it's any butterfly experts out there who can talk to us about if the ones later in the monarch season just tend to be like big old what's
big old sexy boy.
Yeah, a fish odors thing. Yeah, he's a big old sexy boy or girl.
Or girl.
But he or she or they have been eating everything. Georgia will come in with a whole sprig of milkweed because we have them in a little habitat, and she'll put it in, and like a few hours later, there's just this big honking caterpillar at the end of the stem had already eaten all 5 leaves.
Yeah.
And it's like, is there any more?
He's like hanging on the ledge like...
All right.
Yes, we're having a pretty good Sunday. I'm ready to go take a nap. I think I'm actually going to be leaving by 10:45. I'm going back to bed.
Well,
I love
okay.
you so much, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's night.
She has been working on music and piano. We had her work. We've got a major song not a song and dance number. We're not doing dancing. I don't have time to animate dancers.
Like I could just come in and just cut me in.
Yeah, just like badly green screen you in with like a Linda head on. That'd be awesome. We'll do that for some behind the scenes stuff, or the outtakes. Cause oh my goodness, we got some great.
Kyle, what are you planning to say to us? Are we ready for Halloween?
We've got so much crazy stuff to do.
Are we ready for Halloween? I don't even know what the hell I'm going to be for Halloween yet, man, which is terrible, because I have a friend who Halloween is her favorite holiday of the year, her whole family, so I'm sure she's already plotting her thing.
Let's see, how are things going? So the poll has chimed in for the first 30 minutes. We'll reset it again in just a second, but it says, which character are you most like? 0 picked SpongeBob, 50% picked Patrick, 25% picked Eugene Krabs, 25% picked Plankton.
That's it.
That's it.
So Patrick, all right.
So Patrick wins with 50%.
Go Patrick.
50%? That's bigger than 0, isn't it? Nice. All right, so we'll start up the poll again. Hello. So the problem, if you would do me a favor, and if you would leave your iPad out if you're going to go, so I can see a bigger screen and hopefully see all the little names that come on, because right now, as you guys know, we do this, TikTok, we do not have a stream key, as we always keep complaining, so we have to do it through the phone, which means that if I want to see who's joined, like, for example, Kyle.
Yeah, here,
Kyle Broflovsky. I gotta lean in.
Where do you want it placed?
Let's see. Will it rotate?
Nice... No, if you rotate, it still stays because it's live.
Okay.
Can't do that. I know.
All right.
We need a stand.
Will it do at least this so that it can Wow, it doesn't even rotate.
Nope. No rotation.
So no rotation on there, which means that, it would have to stay,
Yep.
and it's only at 38% anyway.
Yep.
So
It would die anyway. It's just this.
so I just need enough length. Is that possible? Yay!
Okay.
All right, so now it's a matter of putting it in a place that won't accidentally trigger a keyboard and a malfunction, and there we go.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, I'm done. I love you. Bye.
Georgia died early, so anyone on the poll who said she was gone in 40 minutes, you win the poll for today.
Night, night.
Night, night.
Mwah.
Love you, snarky girl.
Love you too, snarky boy.
Yeah. Oh, man. And 3/4 of the energy walks out of the room. Which means now you're just stuck with me. And some music and some light rain in the background. Hello. So what we're going to do, TikTok at it. TikToking at its finest. Hell yeah. But we have SpongeBob here. And so what I did first discovered here is that we are going to have to extend out these lines. I really wish that with Animate, if you brought in audio and it happens to be a certain length, it just all comes in. Instead,
Mr. Fisher is on his way.
yep, it cuts off. So it's like when you bring in video, sometimes it'll say, hey, if the video is too long, can you extend out the line? And nope, can't do it with audio, heaven forbid. All right, so now, but the thing is, it turns into a guessing game because you don't want a bunch of empty frames at the end. So let's go for extending everything out to here. Here we go, and you can see the little audio line ends right here, just before 10 seconds. So we will now remove all those frames. All right, so now we have our full... Now the problem, of course, is that since I brought him in from another scene, he's already preset to do other animation. So let's back this out to show frame. And this lovely part here, where obviously he's probably turning his head. Excuse me. Now you just get the unvarnished me for an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, baby. And the coffee's running low. We are going to be filled with energy. The cat's over on the side relaxing because it's raining too much outside. How are we doing here? Did you not see my comment? Well, all right, I believe, Monsieur, was the Are You Guys Ready for Halloween? Oh, you're going to Halloween Horror Night. Okay, so Kyle, I believe that means, it could be different. So out here in LA, Halloween Horror Night is usually meaning you're going to Universal Studios, which I have not done in, when was the last time I did? Universal's Halloween Horror Nights was back when The Walking Dead was still fairly new and was one of the big new exciting things. And I think The Purge was one of their, and I think it was like one of the sequels by then. So, by the time the second or third one comes out, Universal Studios goes, we're adding that to our Halloween Horror Night. So yes. Let's see. So it's weird, you can, even though Georgia's iPad is monitoring, and she's a partner on here, it's so easy to just flip to another video. So apparently you can just, even though you're moderating a thing, you can just leave as well. 2 weeks to go before Labor Day. Hell yes. Hell yes. And it is going to be a crazy 2 weeks as we try and get this done. I have a big board back here that has everything that's left to do. When I did some work on Disney's Planes, and this is like years ago, and Disney's Planes was not a Pixar, even though it was based in the world of Cars. That movie franchise, Planes, was handed off to Disney Toon in Burbank. So you would go into the rooms at Disney Toon because I was contracted out to work on previs for the motion graphics for all the ESPN, or what was it? It wasn't ESPN in Cars World. It was like it was like 3 letters, something like the Racing Sports Network, or RSN, I think it was. So you would go into the big conference rooms where they would have all the big paintings and all the concept art. And at the time, they were working on a trio of films. There was Fire and Rescue, which did come out, and I can't remember what the third one, what they originally thought it was going to focus on back then for planes, but it never got to the third one. Let's see how we're doing here. Yep, 2 weeks. Hello, PC 12345. So Disney's planes had like these big printed out Gantt charts of the timeline of everything they needed to get done in Burbank, and then if I recall correctly, a whole chunk of it was sent off to India for a lot of the grunt work, a lot of the in betweens and stuff like that, and it was immense. You just saw all the moving parts for a full-length Disney animated movie, and all the areas, all the requirements, the things that had to happen first to move on to the next step. Getting some of the early previs storyboards, and this was back when it was going to be John Cryer from not Two Broke Girls, from Two and a Half Men. John Cryer from Two and a Half Men was originally meant to be the main character, and then there was a big blow up with the producers, and people were gone. And then Dane Cook was eventually brought in to be the main voice. Although I think Stacy Keach and John Cleese and Julie Louise-Dreyfus was still already cast and retained their roles. So that was the crazy thing for that. Well, it is starting to definitely rain more. So for those of you who are in the Hurricane Hillary reach, that's where we're going. Haley Taylor's version joined. Hello, Haley Taylor's version. So right now, yeah. So this is earlier stuff that I need to get rid of. So in Animate, I have to go into. I'm going to go to the beginning sequence. So this is roughly a 10-second sequence. It's going to stay on this one shot as SpongeBob goes into full-blown panic. And there's things about this that are already a little janky, but so we're going to drill in, and now I've got a whole bunch of the keyframes, different things I did with his mouth, his hand, holding the spatula. So what I need to do is stretch out this timeline to all the frames I've done to this point. Let's bring up a little more music here. Yeah, the rain. I don't know. I don't think you guys can hear the rain on our mics and stuff like that. But we are going to clear all these keyframes. Oh, and let go of all the keyframes. Let's see if we can get this to work properly this time. Oh, it didn't choose the first one, so that's why it's being problematic. All right, we're going to go all the way out to here. We're going to select all these frames, and we're going to say clear. Oh, you know, actually, I didn't want to do that. Oops. I want to clear everything from the second frame. Otherwise, I erase everything. I don't want to erase everything. I just want to erase everything after the initial point. And go all the way over here. And now hit clear. There we go. Now we have reset. Now Bob doesn't do any movement at all. So now what I could do is just start animating, you know, frame to frame to frame. But my preference instead is to. The problem with taking a rig like this, where you've got him already pre-built, is that you can have the tendency of just kind of like just starting to like move stuff, and compared to especially SpongeBob's animation, he's much more out and about. So what's helpful for me is to actually draw some rough sketches on top of it, something more exaggerated, a more animated pose, and then if I need to rebuild parts of the rig because maybe he's leaning in, or maybe he's really stretching back, wherever it is, or maybe his arms are more exaggerated, and then change the rig to match the animation instead of do all that animation then go, oh, he's only going and wondering why it doesn't look very lively. So let's see. How do we do it? I'm back. Hello, Libby. Hello, Libby. And hello, and thank you, Water Girl, for liking the live. For anyone who's chiming in right now, let us know where you're chiming in from. What are you doing on this fine Sunday besides looking at TikTok or YouTube? And then, are you guys in the path of Tropical Storm Hillary right now? Are you already getting drenched? For the areas south of Los Angeles, I have to imagine that things have already been picking up. And then people in Baja California, I have not looked at any of the stories yet to see what's been going on. Also, we've got a poll. Which SpongeBob character are you like? Unfortunately, the lovely Georgia tapped out early. She's been up since 7:30 this morning. She's got stand-up tonight, Night of 100 Comics, I think it's called, and she's been burning the oil left, right, and center with different gigs, attending different gigs, doing a lot of stand-up this past month. We will be taking a major break after this show premieres in 2 weeks. Partly to collapse, but we've got some major new stuff happening behind the scenes as well, so it's crazy over here. At least the cat is relaxed. I am not so relaxed. I've been going 12, 18-hour days a lot lately to try and get this done. Hello, user. So many... Libby! Yes, Libby. You were one of our first gifters. Thank you. And we're trying to... believe it or not, and my apologies if we ever miss anyone on this, but we are trying to go back through a lot of our screenshots at the end of the live streams and stuff, and go for people who've been just like coming in and sitting for half an hour or much less, a few hours, or returning customers or gifters, whether it's $1 or 100 diamonds. 'Cause I think we've made all of $3. I think we've made all of $3 on here, which is fantastic. It means so much that anyone. I mean, when we put this, when we did our temp animatic back in December, and thought, is this going to be well received? Or at least back then it was just like, do we even have something? If we put this out into the world and work on it, is it going to be fun? And it turns out that we looked at each other and went, okay, I think this is a thing. But we never would have expected the reception that we got on TikTok. So how are we doing right now? Yeah, it's I think things have slowed down on this channel a bit because we've been so busy working behind the scenes that we've not been feeding the algorithm. So I'm sure not as many people are even receiving the live stream right now. We usually by now have got like 1,000 likes, and we've only got 383 right now. So, oh well. But we're gonna try and put out at least some teasers to start getting things going, because it's only 2 weeks. 2 weeks left, guys. Hello, Blake Oaks. And let's see, anyone on the YouTube right now? Yes, so we had Michaela Dickens on YouTube, and we've got all you guys here. And then Libby, thank you for liking the live. Hopefully we're not just guilting people, just like, we only had 300 and stuff likes, so like our likes. And because, trust us, George and I are both in the place of, like, the people who just basically are live streaming for the likes. They're, like, bringing nothing to it, and they're just like, I'm not even going to say anything until you give me more likes. If I don't get a galaxy right now, I'm afraid I'm just going to sit here and pout. And it's like, okay, thank you for pouting. Thank you for pouting live on my phone for the last 30 minutes. Or the NPC craze, or all the other stuff that's been going on. Holy cow. So all of a sudden now we've got 591 likes. So wait a second. So just by saying, yes, we like the likes, suddenly we're getting a bunch of likes. So like, are people just going crazy? No, OFC, not, I'm here, I might as well. Thank you, Livy. But it's just, holy, how, all right. I'm sorry, what the heck is going on here? Suddenly we have 718 likes. Were there just a bunch of people sitting off to the side going, oh, that's right, there's this like function. I guess we'll tell them that we like them or something. You guys. But hey, regardless of any guff that we give, the algorithms and TikTok and everything else, still, you guys have found your way over here. You guys have supported the channel. We've got like 6,100 followers. January 5th, I started with 1 follower. It was just Georgia. Just me and Georgia. And Georgia had her channel for a while. And hers is George Jiffy, by the way. And you can probably scroll through her comments in the back to track her down. because it's like half George, and then George Jiffy, and she's been working on her stuff. We've been working on all kinds of like stingers and themes and brand stuff, but she's been so busy doing stand up and working on SpongeBob and doing the music because we got a song. How do you can't do an episode of Bob's Burgers, much less a Bob's Burgers SpongeBob episode, not have at least one song, right, folks? So the idea is that that's it's got to be Linda. It's got to be Linda. If there's anyone who's gonna do a song, it's got to be Linda. So she brings it out, and she brings a whole song of a way to try and solve the issue that the family is dealing with. That in this scene, SpongeBob is panicking about. Okay, so holy cow! What scene? SpongeBob is panicking out. Oh, I'm seeing the live captions that are coming up here, which is funny. I can't imagine. It's so weird to be living in an age where someone can live stream first and foremost on a phone. Look, I'm a Gen Xer. It's like if you wanted to reach your public in a direct way that could actually go into their homes, it was public broadcast. It was the public broadcast channel that every little and big town had. What was it? The thing that Wayne's World is making fun of. What was it? What were they broadcasting out of? Like Chicago? The show was broadcasting out of like Chicago in their basement. Wayne's World. Let's see. Chelsea. Hello, Chelsea. I've got George's iPad here off the side so I can actually see the type a little bit bigger. Hello, Emily. and for those... Oh, okay. So I start mentioning likes like maybe, 5-10 minutes ago, saying, well, we've only got 300 likes, so I don't know. And now we're at 1,100 likes. I have no idea how that happens. I mean, does the algorithm just go, there's someone out there asking for likes, put them on the For You page, whatever it is, show them what's going on? It's like, it's not the quality, it's not the fact that we're working on animation or anything. Someone is asking for likes, engagement. Bring people to the page. Now, yeah, we got 1,200 likes. It's like, how does this happen? How many people are even watching right now? Well, there's only like 5 people here. Pretty sure it was me. Wait a second. Can you do multiple likes? That's it. That is. I had no idea. Because when I've gone into live streams, I just go like, well, I like that one. I do one, and I at least feel like, okay, I'm contributing. But you can't sit there and just keep going, can you? Libby, let me know. Libby liked the live. Bob's liked the live. Libby liked the. Oh, you can do multiple. Okay. I did not know it was like. Do you guys remember those earlier like flash games or mobile games? My kids would play this stuff all the time. Like it was like Cookie Counter, or wherever it was, and you would sit there on your mouse and just go, and if you got to like 100, 1,000, 10,000, it would just. It meant nothing. You got nothing for it unless they converted to gems. But like you could do anything with the gems you were getting for doing the cookie counting. But they would, yeah, you guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. This is why we do this stuff. We do this stuff because you guys are as crazy as we are. Someone right there, or a few of you right there, are just sitting there going, but if I recall correctly, there would be people whose whole job it would be to come up with a subroutine on your PC that would allow you to basically just hit that cookie thing that you had to tap on the mouse or on the screen for and just replicate it to crazy speeds. And I'm going, how many layers of insanity can you go into before you're so deep down the rabbit hole it's nothing but crazy people? A guy who's animating a SpongeBob Bob's Burgers fan animation and doing this 24/7 with his crazy wife and crazy cats and crazy caterpillars for crazy fans. I guess I really should not be one to talk. and we're just now coming down to the top of the hour, which means that we need more coffee, and I can't get more coffee because we drank the coffee. Well, I've got like 3 sips of coffee left, so we're going to take my Oswald mug from California Disney, and we're gonna see how long we can stretch a few minor sips of caffeine, baby. Because we still have an hour left. Are you guys still hitting the like buttons like crazy? Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Just got 335 and broke it. You can 100% set a macro. That's exactly what this is like. You just keep tapping. You send as much as you want. Libby. And but is that bun sauce? How do you even pronounce that? I know it's variation on SpongeBob. It's slightly dyslexic, but it's like I have no idea how you'd even pronounce that because it's crazy over there. But yeah, it's if well see now the whole thing is like now if it turns out that because you'll go through other people's live streams and you'll check in, you know, in my case to legitimately like it, but you'll see it and it's like someone when the Taylor Swift streams were coming through for the Eras tour, and they'd have like 100,000 likes, and I'm going, wow, it's like 100,000 different people came in and saw the stream, big surprise because it was her tour, but would come in and like it, and they each gave one vote, and wow, look at all the people now. Now it turns out you can game it. Is there anything in today's social media that you cannot game? Let's see how we got here. Libby, you're still liking the live. Have you ever animated for television? You're good. Aw, OC, thank you. The funniest thing about that is that basically no. While I worked on Disney's planes, we had 2 whole viewers for a second there. Two whole viewers on YouTube, and now we're already down to 1. Have I done television? No. Have I worked with people who went on to Bento Box, and even Georgia has met people who work on Bob's Burgers and stuff. And this is Hollywood. You basically know someone who knows someone, or you've done crossover work. I worked on Disney's planes, but unfortunately there was a shakeup, and nothing that I worked on in the earlier stages made it to the final stages. They hired someone else to do the final map sequences and the ESPN for planes graphics and stuff. And then it didn't even get credited. I brought my kids to the show on this thing that I was sitting and working on the computer for weeks on end and getting time cards, and Disney paid well. But nope. It ended up being uncredited. So I don't even have an IMDb credit on it. And I've got tons of renders and files and stuff like that of what we were working on back then. And this was before Element 3D came to After Effects. So I was trying to do a lot of this stuff just on the fly with crazy stuff. And wow, that's how old is Disney's planes now? Are we talking like 2008, 9? Oh boy, that's a long time ago. So yes, I would love to. In point of fact, coming up in October is Pasadena. In Pasadena is Lightbox Expo, which is the Animators Expo. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to miss it again for reasons we can't share yet. And the rain, meanwhile, is coming down more and more. It's still considered a light rain. It's not like we're getting horribly drenched here. And meanwhile, Libby, I love you. You are just keep doing the thing. Wait, it's backwards. Wait, no, it's not. Yeah. But let's put it this way. One of the very first things I did as a kid, because you know how you have your talent shows in elementary school, and for parents, it's the love-hate thing of you love watching your kid, sing or dance or play an instrument or do, some kind of reading. But then you have to endure 3 hours of everyone else's kids doing that stuff. And the rain kicked up another level. We're now moving up to level 2. Level 2 rain. But the thing I did back in 6th grade, and it's still buried here somewhere, is animation back in 1981 and into 82 involved the school finding a 8mm movie that they no longer wanted to do. They put it into a bleach bath to take the little film that was on the 8mm
and basically wiped the whole thing clean. So you still had something you could run through a projector. And with that, I drew frame by frame on the 8mm thing a Pac-Man fan movie I did, which we then played to Pac-Man Fever, which was a zeitgeist song back then. I got Pac-Man Fever. Play that in front of the whole school for my 6th grade assembly, along with the choir and all the other stuff. They weren't singing Pac-Man Fever. It was just that it wasn't just me doing that. It was a bunch of other stuff. So that was my very, very beginning stages of animation. But ultimately, I ended up not really going into animation, despite doing little flip books and stuff like that. I went into theater and graphic arts and journalism, and I worked in newspapers for 20 years. And then now I've been working for Hollywood. I was a red carpet photographer for about 10, 15 years. I was a photographer at Variety. I've worked on all kinds of low-budget shows. Okay, looks like things are hanging over at YouTube. I'm getting like a little spinny rendering wheel. It's like, I hope you're still working. Apparently it's still live. Hopefully. Hello, YouTube. But so let's see. Yep, Libby. Libby, what are you doing? Libby. I command you. No. It's nuts. You're nuts. We love it. You're nuts. And now we've reached level 3 of the rain. So just in case something seriously goes out, because look, we're shooting on Wi-Fi, and I hopefully California Edison does not get too Now I'm wondering if you guys can actually hear it. Hello, Dixon Maez. We're as the rain is kicking up. I should probably close the because I think rain is going to actually start coming into the thing here. It's raining. It's raining ever so much. Please pause while we try and secure the place as the rain begins to hit harder and harder. Hello. So watch the SpongeBob. Wow. Tropical Storm Hillary live streaming. If we could rename it instead of in 2 weeks, we could have just renamed it the Hillary edition. Let's see how we do it. Unless it's a fan, I can hear what sounds like rain. Okay. Well, thank you, Libby. Oh my goodness. So yes, a little bit of music, a little bit of rain. It's a Sunday. What better stuff to do? All right. So hello, Irene, if I'm saying that correctly. Apologies if I'm not. So we're going to work on now. One of the many crazy things that unless animators can tell me what's going on with this is that. So I've got the Bob rig. And the rig right now is just a solid piece, because if it turns out, like when I brought him in, that he is the wrong size, he needs to be bigger, he needs to be smaller, he needs to be rotated a little bit because it's an odd angle shot. You want to just be able to grab the whole SpongeBob and move him and scale him, and it all works together. You don't want to grab his body and then you have to grab his eyes, and then you go, well, wait a second, how big were the eyes again? And try and match. You just want the rig. So, but the deal is, then that means I have to go inside the symbol of SpongeBob, of Bob Belcher, to start moving the stuff around. But the audio track is on this layer. And you would think, well, with plenty of other programs and stuff, just because you're inside a nested layer, you should be able to still hear it. Well, nope, doesn't work that way, because the audio layer stays separately. So what I have to do for this to work...
Lynn?
Oh, and our poll is back. Of the people who answered this last poll, which character you most like? Last time we had 50% Krabs, 50% Patrick. Patrick won with 50%, and Krabs and Plankton each got 25%. This time we have 100% Sandy Squirrel. So go Sandy. All right, we're gonna do this poll one more time, then we'll be done with it for now. So I'm just gonna hit the start. Dun dun dun. Wait, who gave me a universe? No, 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 no. No, I did not get a universe. Did I? Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Holy wait. Who? It says, "Oh my God, Libby, I must have missed something." Emily's first gets sent a rose. Holy cow, we're getting roses now. Wait. Emily, thank you very much for the rose. But if I got a galaxy, let me back this one up. Just got the number 2 gifter badge. But Libby's the number 1 gifter badge. It's like, okay, yeah, thanks, Libby. It's like so I'm gonna have to like rewatch the live stream or whatever it is and like rewind it, because it's like these things that happen. It's like I wish they made like noise or something that you could hear, or something happens on my screen that just goes bum bum bum, because the only way I'd see it is if I'm like staring right at the screen or staring right over here. Well, if I'm staring there, that's the webcam camera, and that's the big thing here. So it's like, so it was a foreign name. Well, I mean, look, if whoever, I mean, we'll have to check it out later. But whoever gave a universe or a galaxy or whatever the heck that was, like, wow, crazy. That's crazy, people. And we will track it down, because Libby and Leap Meep and other people who, and not Bridge. I'm losing track of the names, and there's so many funny names. And it doesn't help that half you guys have one name on YouTube and a different name on TikTok. So the good news is that I come from a journalism background, and at least I will do my best due diligence to go through the live streams, to go through the stuff, find top gifters, find but no, if someone names themselves something that we can't put in the credits, then on you. But I try and do snapshots at the end of every live stream to see who watched the longest and who was a returning person. And Taylor, hello Taylor. Taylor Swift. Although I will admit, one of the fun things about being a red carpet photographer, as long as I was at least, until the pandemic hit, I have had tiny moments with a lot of the big names, including there was a movie that Haley Steinfeld was in. It was like it wasn't like a Shakespeare movie or something like that, or some like rendition of something new. But everyone was saying that Taylor Swift, because she's a friend of Haley Steinfeld, was going to drop by for the red carpet. And you have these moments when you're doing red carpet photography where you hear, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Governor Schwarzenegger is coming at the end of it, so stick around. Or you get what's called a tip sheet. And you will sit there, and it basically is that the studio has reached out to obviously the people who made the movie, so the director, the writer, and the main stars, and anyone else associated with it. Those people obviously are supposed to show up, unless they can because they're in a different country or they're filming something else. But then on a tip sheet, you'll get the other people that the studio has asked that at least put in a strong maybe. So you will have people maybe with, or people who are friends of the director who worked on their last show, whatever it was, and they'll just show up because they're good supporters. Or they're friends of the actors, whatever it is. So we're waiting for supposedly Taylor Swift is coming, and we're just hanging in there, and we're going like, okay, and then she finally comes by. This was at the outside the old ArcLight Cinemas in Hollywood, so got a few moments where me and Taylor were this far apart, and you're just getting she was already late for the screening, so we didn't get to spend much time with her, but at least you're able to get a few photos and a quick hello. The best case scenarios with red carpet sometimes are when you get into logjam situations where a person can't work their way down the carpet much because something is still clogging it up at the next thing, or maybe the video interviews. And then you get a moment to maybe talk to them for 2 seconds. And so I've had some nice little happy moments with major stars of film and of TV and screen and whatnot. Let's see. Hello, Taylor. Hello. So obviously I'm not getting a lot of work done as the lovely Georgia normally takes care of the meet and greets. So I'm running both the front of the house and the back of the house right now. But we only have to go another 45 minutes, and then I go whole hog back on this. So we're dealing with SpongeBob. I say SpongeBob, but of course it's supposed to be Bob Belcher, played by SpongeBob. Yeah, and see, the old audio is still... That's the weird thing. Is like, this is the audio from the original one. So I got to take that out. Remove the audio. And I'm going to keep the sketch layer, which I'm going to actually unlock right now. And then I need to bring in the audio from the actual shot so that when I'm lip-syncing SpongeBob's mouth, I can actually hear the audio. Heaven forbid I actually hear the audio. So I'm going to copy... And copy layer. I'm doing well. All right, so we're going to just keep only Bob's layer selectable. There we go. And now paste the audio back on. Paste the layer.
What, Lynn? Our rent is 3 months late.
Ta-da! And now, so at least over the course of the last hour and 15 minutes, we've done probably like 5 minutes of actual work here. Oh yeah. Oh, gotta go. Okay, gotta go. Bye, Libby. Thank you for all the millions of likes. 4,000. It's like, how many of those 4,100 likes are all you crazy people? But bye. Gotta go. See you around next time. We've got one more after this, and then it's the premiere, baby. 2 weeks. So enjoy. Denise. Yeah, and thanks. Good luck to the wife. If this rain keeps getting crazier and crazier, then we're gonna have. She may decide to cancel. We shall see. It's a hurricane, baby. So bye. Let's see how we doing for YouTube. YouTube is still streaming fine. TikTok is still doing fine. Denise Herring. Okay, so we have a few people still watching. And we still have just a little bit of coffee left. Because if I go for a coffee run, it's just going to leave a blank screen here. We can't, and I think the coffee's actually gone too, because I think it got all drank before I woke up this morning. I only woke up an hour before this, because I was up till 3 a.m. working on this crazy thing. The good news is that we've got 5 solid minutes of the new voiceover laid in, and then we're hitting the song area, and we've got to focus on the song area, and then we've got all the dialogue and crazy stuff that happens in the climax. So there's a million things left to do here, including these scenes, which are still janky and rough, and but the pattern right now is to just start layering things in, even if it's not quite done yet. Get things going, lay it in. It's a good, better, best, which is a slogan we've got in this house, good, better, best, that we just keep adding and adding and adding and adding. And then the hope is that by the time we have to let it into the wild for the premiere on September 3rd, and you know, it just occurred to me that if the show premieres at 4 p.m., that actually gives me a few more hours before... When you work in crunch time, it is amazing that something just as simple like an extra 6 hours can make all the difference. One last level of polish, one last level of double checking. Although I know on YouTube you have to, when you set a premiere, I don't think once you like truly set the premiere, I don't think you can then like upload a new version of it to get to go. That is something I'll have to look into. Because if you can, you better believe I'm going to wait till the last second to put in the final version. But one of the great things in art, and I think a lot of you artists will attest to this. Hello, all the people who done Poison One. There was another one with like Zoom or Shroom, whatever it is, who came in. So hello to everyone who's coming on in. And where are you chiming in from? It is raining out here in Southern California. Big surprise, our first tropical storm in 94 years. So, yeah, weather. But hey, compared to Maui, you know, there's you know, we're just getting some rain. What are we doing? Checking YouTube, checking Ustream. Hello, Abiz. So what the heck was I talking about? Oh, we've got these last 2 weeks. But the good thing is for artists is deadlines. If you have all the time in the world, and you can always say, "Oh, I can get to it tomorrow," whatever it is. We've been working on SpongeBob since 2020. There have been sketches. She and I were working on the script. We were playing with all kinds of ideas, and I was just taking my iPad and scribbling out backgrounds and character ideas, merging them. The TikTok, the channel here has got a lot of those reveals, and some of those sketches are old. But then it was a matter of, oh crap, we've got to do this thing, and then we set the hard deadline of their anniversary date. In the pilot episode of Bob's Burgers, they talk about how Bob has forgotten the anniversary, and then so because of that, it's 9/3. 9 is divisible by 3. So we thought, what better time in January to say, give us a deadline. Let's go for September 3rd. And we hit September 3rd. So here we are now, 2 weeks away from September 3rd. And there's a lot left to do. There is so much left to do. Hello, Shadi. Hello, Peaches. Hello, everyone coming on in. So we are going to focus a little bit as we get down to our last 40 minutes here for today's live stream. And can you guys hear the rain? The rain has been picking up steadily during this live stream. It was like a light sprinkle at the beginning. They say supposedly that the brunt of it is supposed to hit our area around 5 p.m., which is another 5.5 hours away. So it'll be interesting to see just how wet we get here. But we had a wet winter comparatively, coming out of the drought. So hopefully, the systems that, any weaknesses we had in the wet winter, like, storm drains or whatnot, at least have been optimized, that this shouldn't catch us truly by surprise. But weather stuff aside, now we're back into SpongeBob.
30 months late.
Okay, so this is a moment where Bob is basically expressing that they are late with rent. Typical Bob's Burgers thing, so fish odor is on his way. So we have to come up with some sketches on top. And then we do the sketches. So what I usually do here is I add a layer of white. So I'm going to draw a white box. How dramatic! With no stroke. So I just draw this box over. And then I take that box, make sure I'm actually on the right frame here. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to take that box and I'm going to change its properties. I'm going to hit Q. And I want to just bring the alpha down a bit. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more to maybe like 50%. So now we've got this white sheen over it. And what this helps me do is that as I'm drawing on top of it, on my sketch layer, now we're, oh, holy cow, what is that? Emily Dempsey sent love you times 1. Thank you very much. Good grief. We are just getting some fun stuff today. Double, triple, quadruple. 0007. Yes, it's calming. Yes. Little chill music, little rain. Holy cow! Thank you for the big old heart thing. I admit that we are still so new at the live streaming game, despite having done it now for several weeks. But as far as like the whole gifting thing, whether they be coins, diamonds, galaxies, love, roses. I mean, what I'm going to have to do is at the end of this live stream, when we disconnect, you get your analytics and you see how well you did. And I'm going to just have to see what all that means. Because I've seen a lot of live streams where I watch through and then suddenly there's like a universe and a galaxy and stuff and hearts and little things on heads and all that stuff. Holy, what is that? Sent big love. Big love, Emily. Well, thank you very much. We feel very, very spoiled. We hope that love just spills on down to the lovely SpongeBob. So all that aside, and pandas. What on earth have we done to receive such wonderful praise? And pandas. Now I'm thinking We Bare Bears. We're big fans of We Bare Bears, even if we're a little late to the height of its zeitgeist. So aloha, Machaurus, and then Tucker the turtle, Tucker the turkey. Are you just finding random buttons and just going through? It's like I have no idea what values are associated with any of this. So whether it means half a penny or $1 or more, good Lord, I hope it's not a whole lot more. We thank you, because here's one of the deals is that any money we did make off these live streams, of which has only been like a few dollars, at least up till today, whatever this is turning into. The idea is that if it gets to a point, because we don't even know what the threshold is for TikTok to say, yes, you've actually made some money, where do you want it to go? And we like, so we've, there's a animal rescue in northern Minnesota. I'm originally from Minnesota. My family is still in Minnesota. That that my brother, he's at a comfortable age. He's just a quiet guy who just enjoys his life. So he whenever his birthday or Christmas comes around, he just wants a donation to the Babinski Foundation. And it's just a little animal rescue. And in Minnesota, when you've got winter and stuff like that, I mean, my folks have famously rescued cats out of a snowdrift and stuff. So being animals are near and dear to this whole family's hearts, whatever it is. If TikTok finally says, here's some dough, we're going to pass that along to the Babinski Foundation and rescue animals, and we're happy to do so. Now when we stream on YouTube, hopefully we finally get to a place where we get monetized, because if anything, for the YouTube monetization, if and when it ever gets to monetization, the goal for that one is, if we do get some dollars from that, we put that right back into doing more animation. That just can, in theory, because I'm not expecting, this takes a long time. We're working on 8 months just to get one 10, 15-minute animation up. So the idea here is that we will, if we do get any money on YouTube, because this is, Emma, we were asked a while back, are we ever going to be concerned about us getting sued? It is a common refrain. Sooner or later on our popular videos on TikTok, someone will go, dude, how is this not copyright violation? How are you not going to get sued? Are you going to get canceled or your channel copyright struck? So we're in a gray area. And of course, it's different in different countries. Definitely counts for the U.S., and that's where the companies are. So we've got Bento Box, and Lauren Bouchard, who is the creator for Bob's Burgers, and more importantly, we've got Paramount. Paramount has been famously, notorious in the early days of YouTube, cracking down on people sharing South Park on YouTube back in the early days and stuff, and Daily Show clips and all that stuff. Paramount and Nickelodeon can be rather, but here's the deal. If it's fan-made and kind of a parody, Saturday Night Live is an easy version where they parody, real people, real channels, real IP. Although obviously NBC and 30 Rock's lawyers have a bigger legal team, Lorne Michaels and all that. But the idea is that in YouTube's world and TikTok's world, even if it is a Star Wars film, like for example, Lucasfilm, and even Paramount with Star Trek, the going thing is that as long as you're not trying to get rich off of it, you're not trying to sell DVDs of your Star Trek fan series or Star Wars thing, you're allowed to coexist. There have been famous examples of incredibly. There's a thing called Star Trek Continues, which if you're a fan of the original Star Trek series, there's a gap in the episodes because the show only lasted 3 seasons before NBC canceled it, and then the first movie comes out. But there's like a noticeable gap in terms of story because they never finished their 5-year mission. Yada yada yada. So a show called Star Trek Continues comes up about 7-8 years ago on YouTube, and they actually hire like people from Buck Rogers, Q from Star Trek Next Generation, the son of Scotty is playing Scotty. They got Grant Imahara from Mythbusters, who has since passed away, to play Sulu, and a great actor who does kind of that William Shatner-esque kind of thing. And it's fantastic. And they were going to do a full season, but then a different show, also a fan thing, decided to start pushing the boundaries with Paramount with their fan series and started getting money, and Paramount just cracked down. They just were like, the heck with all this. And unfortunately, they had to cut their shows short. But what their thing was to create enough episodes between where the TV show ended of the original James T. Kirk series and the first movie, and create a bridge between the two. And they did a brilliant job. And it looks and feels and sounds like the 1960s episodes, like to an amazing degree. And they were allowed to exist, and they still are there because they did not try to turn it into a money-making thing. So SpongeBob Burgers can kind of exist. Now, does that mean Nickelodeon, Paramount, or Bento Box can't just come in with a giant hammer and go whap? Very true. However, other than you fans who could complain to TikTok or YouTube and say, "Hey, this is just a fan animation. He's not trying to get rich off of it. Bring it back." If it got struck on YouTube or TikTok, but here's the deal. There was a person who also, he's been an inspiration of this whole thing. He did a mashup like 7-8 years ago of Bob's Burgers and Archer, and you can still find it on YouTube. His name is Simon Chong, Chongster62 on Instagram, and he because John H. Benjamin does the main voice for Archer and the main voice for Bob's Burgers, he came up with a great mashup of what if the cast of Archer came to Bob's Burgers. And he did his own animation, and he used a bunch of audio clips from the two shows to blend them as if they were, talking to each other. Well, famously, he got hired by Bob's Burgers and is now an animation. He's been like director, storyboard artist, storyboard director on the show and the movie. He saw the opening title sequence because someone was complaining about not liking the whole idea of that. So I just tagged him on Instagram saying, I think Simon Chong would have an issue with not liking a mashup between, two franchises. Oh, Emily, what are you doing over there? Emily, more roses, more turkeys, more a finger heart, roses, TikTok, ×2. Emily, Dino, hello Dino, or Dino. There was an old Dino's Pizza joint when I was a kid, so I love the name Dino. Of course, it's a famous Brontosaurus dog from Flintstones. Or your name may have nothing to do with any of that. That's what happens when you come into an animator's channel. Emily, what are you? Cat paws? Emily, I'm gonna have to sit and watch this thing just to figure out all the stuff you're doing over there. What are you doing? You're okay, Emily. You're crazy. You're crazy over there. We love you, but you're crazy. Holy crap! I'm just talking about animation and stuff. So Simon Chong made that, became a working person over at Bob's Burgers now. I think he's in Georgia now because that's, I think, where one of their headquarters are. And he's directing episodes, and he's even been interviewed in the past about how crazy his life was. And I think he's actually from overseas. I have to double check that. But if you look up Simon Chong and Archer, Bob's Burgers on YouTube, you'll definitely find all that stuff. So here's the big thing. If one of the major studios came and cracked down hard, maybe I could reach out to him and kind of get a Godfather call where he would be like, hey, come on, or give me some kind of solution to bring out to the fans. But so far, the title sequence has been on YouTube for months now, without a strike. It helps that we're not using any actual music from it. We're replicating it, but George is playing the ukulele. I'm playing the guitar. We're using Logic and a keyboard and stuff like that. My keyboard to do all the music live. To make our own recordings of it. So anything that should trip the copyright stuff, in theory, should not trip up unless someone has an axe to grind and totally destroys us out of spite and pettiness or whatnot. So, meanwhile, Emily, what have you been doing over there? I love what you do, and I'm inspired and think you're great. Well, Emily, that thank you. The fans have been just like the lifeblood of keeping us going, especially now that I'm trying to actually get stuff done. And we're down to our last 30 minutes, and then I can maybe collapse for a little bit. The rain seems to have calmed. So calm before the storm, perhaps. Oh, can't believe I actually used that idiom. Let's see, checking the YouTube. YouTube is still running well. Hello, YouTube people. And then checking the TikTok. Hello, TikTok people. Hello, Irene. What lightning bolts? Emily, it's like every time I just kind of like out of the corner of my eye see a screen and like suddenly like a little animation or another little thing comes in. So thank you for the love. Thank you for the gifts. We're actually going to try and get at least a couple sketches done in the last 30 minutes here. So I'm going to bring out my handy pencil tool here, a paintbrush. my paintbrush tool. And, I'm even going to get rid of Bob. No, I can't get rid of it here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick up the white a little bit more. Us finicky artists. Let's see. I got to name that layer too, or I won't know what I'm doing. White. Whitey McWhite. So I'm going to choose everything in that white layer. I'm going to go to the object, and I'm going to bring this up even more, so maybe 65%. And then I'm going to log it down, go back to my sketch. All right. So so he starts it off. We can hear the audio here.
What, Lynn?
So let's see. So Lynn, just before then, goes, "Oh, Bobby, it's not going to be that bad." Wait, it's not going to be that bad. Let's check that line out. Let's go back to Premiere. Let's go to the edit.
Oh, Bobby, we'll think of something.
Oh, Bobby, we'll think of something. And that is the lovely Georgia Reed, SAG-AFTRA. And fortunately, during the strike, even though she's union, and well, obviously this is not a union gig, but the good news is that the strike contracts, they put out big posters saying, what SAG-AFTRA people could work on, what's allowable versus what's like, nope, even though someone could argue it's tangentially related to, I'm not actually working on set. And they said, nope. But the things they can do, amazingly enough, is animation voiceover work. That is one of the things expressly. I made sure I downloaded the PDF. It's like, look, right here. It says she can do audiobooks right now. She can do voiceover work. So, fortunately, I am not breaking her any union rules. So you hear that SAG-AFTRA, we're playing nice. Because even though I am not union, I've been working out here in Hollywood for years. There's absolutely no way I'm going to screw myself over. Because I've so many DGA, WGA, independent movies, TV shows. It's like, no. I am not on the side of the streaming producers and the AMPTP on this one at all. Big surprise. Being an animator, animators are oftentimes excluded as writers, as animators. There's the Animators Guild, which I am not a part of. And then even a lot of the shows are not allowed to... they're not allowed. A person from the Writers Guild and works on a lot of animated series says that the producers of any new animated show, essentially the showrunners have a choice. They can either make this a WGA production, or they can make it an Animators Guild production. And there are extreme differences for the writers, both during the show and afterwards as far as residuals. So it's a huge deal. So big surprise, the writers will always go to the producers and say, Writers Guild show? And unfortunately, more often than not, they'll say, Animators Guild show, and it messes them up. So it's unfortunate. Hello to whoever's watching over there in the YouTube. We have still been streaming away there, and unfortunately, it's streaming okay. So despite the rain and despite usual hiccups here with our AT&T fiber, we're doing good. What's been going on here, Emily? Oh, Emily, thank you. Thank you for the you're awesome. We think you're awesome too. Because the fans, I mean, look, we would still, well, if you check out our Movie Boy YouTube channel, we've put out a few little snippets here and there as we've been trying to get our toes wet into how long does it take to do just a 30-second animation. We've got an idea, because the biggest struggle was that we would come up with an idea, and because animation is hard, especially if you're just two people, putting it together, even something 30 seconds that you want to look good and sound good, and you've got your day jobs, and you've got life, and you're, just trying to like make dinner and stuff like that, it is friggin' hard. And you can see all the ways different animators on YouTube have made things so simple. Storytime animators being the most classic, where the backdrop is a few lines, a few colors, and in the beginning is just a few frames. But they're very good at squashing and stretching and setting up anticipation. So even if it's only 3 frames, it's got enough movement for it to still be pleasing. And we're trying to get as far beyond that as we can in these last 2 weeks as possible. And we're obviously biting off more than we can chew, because SpongeBob is very animated, and even Bob's Burgers has subtle animation. But yeah, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm starting to tap out. because I don't have my coffee. So we have what probably would amount to one good gulp of coffee left, but I'm going to take a small sip. Try and lubricate the pipes, as I'm definitely not doing any voiceover work today. I did a few more pickup lines last night in the booth, but today it's supposed to be about the sketching. So let's, oh, helps if I have the right tool. Oh, and I just crashed. Well, that's new. That is that. Oh, and well, while we wait for anime to come back to life, this time on our poll, which character, our final poll for the day, because there's only 20 minutes left, which character you most like? This time, 100% SpongeBob. Does it even say how many people voted? Nope. Nope. You get no stats. Was it one person? Or was it 100 person? No. No. Hopefully, I saved. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go back into my files, my animate files, my scene shots, and see, because I've been naming them all, I know I need to go to O2N Bob Panics. The last save was at 10:23. That could be problematic. Oh, man. Yep, the little bit that I did, I lost it. The recovery files, the problem I have with the recovery files is, well, let's see. If there's there is a recovery file. Let's see if this is better. Yep. I'm just going to have to take it. See, the weird thing with the recovery file is that sometimes you can find yourself doing a recovery file and you go, oh, well, I'll take the recovery file. And then you save it, and then you end up with like a recovery. And the problem is that you can end up at a point where you go like, wait, was I just spending the last half hour working on the original file or a recovery file or a recovery of a recovery? So what I try and do is first I'm going to check this recovery file.
Lynn, our rent is...
So it looks like it did, in fact, recover what we need to here. So I'm going to go into the rig.
It's 3 months late.
Okay. So it looks like it recovered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a save as and replace the original one here, because I can't go down the rabbit hole of trying to guess. There's already so many moving parts here. So I'm going to save over, replace, and now we're back to our original file. I don't have to worry about using a recovery file.
Our rent is 3 months.
All right. So we know it says Bobby will think of something. So he was talking to Gene. So he was facing front because he was saying no, Gene. And then Linda talks, and she's over here on this side of the counter. So he'll spin into that, and the spinning has so many moving parts. But we will play it out for now, because I want him to kind of like, he's on the verge. He's like fully snapping. Did I even talk about this poll? The poll this time was 100% SpongeBob. Whether that was 1 people or 100 people or no people, I don't know. So we're going to close the polls, delete the poll. There we go. Bye-bye, poll. Hello to anyone who's joined. Jonah McNeish. Jonah McNeish. If you're chiming in, where you're chiming in from, we have a whole 17 minutes left on the live stream. So we're going to try and get a little bit of sketch work done. So this time I'm going to try and bring up that brush again. Maybe what's going on here is my Huion tablet might be acting up a little bit. Let's make sure that this is set to Adobe Animate. I am working with a Canvas Pro 24 GT. That was my big gift for working on a independent horror film for this time last year. So I'm telling both of them to, I've got a special set of tools. I need my tools! Let's see, let's go to the mini dial. So this is a mini dial. It is a bunch for streamers and Twitch people and whatnot. They're familiar with these kind of things. But this is one that came with the tablet, and that way when I hit this button here, it brings up all the quick thing of saying what all these keys are set to do inside of Adobe Animate. Hit it again. Now we go back, and now I can set this onto the side of my panel. You can't see it, but because if I move the camera, it's just gonna go wrong. So we have that set there for my tools. If I want to move up frames, although right now there are no different frames, so the timeline changes, but nothing's moving. So I'm going to actually draw. Okay, this time we did not crash. Now when Adobe Animate starts off, it goes back to its defaults. So we got to go back and we got to increase. When I'm sketching, I like doing a thicker line here. Yeah, let's go a little thinner. Let's go 7. Okay, so we finally are going to draw our first frame with only 15 minutes left to go. Hello, Toasty498. Hello, people. Invite people to your live. So what's funny is that the different screens, the moderator doesn't get an invite, but this one, invite D to go live together. Go live together. I don't even know what that would mean. That's too many. That's too many working parts. All right. So if he's originally yelling at Gene, then maybe we just have him first starting here, and we'll have mustache. He's not going to be holding the spatula. The spatula is from the earlier scene where he's going to be talking to his spatula, which is great because both Bobs in the two universes have relationships with their spatulas or their grill. They actually talk back and forth. So he's going to don't think I have to animate that. So he's going to spin real quick. So on the what? So, I'm going to stretch this out a bit, and so we'll put in a new empty frame here. We'll bring in our onion skin. For those who aren't familiar with animation, this is kind of the digital equivalent of what animators used to do when they would draw on paper on a cell sheet, is that you would sit with their drafting table. And you'd probably see the old Disney animators, flipping between one frame and the other to see movement. Well, you want to be able to do the same thing here. So you turn on the onion skin, and that way, if he's going to turn, I'm going to eventually want him to turn by here. So I'm going to make another frame. So I want him to be fully facing forward, but looking a little imposing, kind of like he is in this rough here. So he's obviously angry, and he's very much more in Lynn's face. So by here, we want him to be kind of leaning in a little bit. Not sure if I want him to fully lean in, but he'll. Yep. Try and keep everything roughly in scale, even though these are the epitome of rough right now. Let's see, so Angry Face Bob. Yeah, see the problem is that you get to this place where I think for the ease of all this, I'm going to only turn on the sketch layer. Yeah, if he's leaning in like that, I don't know. Although, I should probably just erase this line, and that might help. Alright, so, remember to save, in case we crash again. So, if he's coming in, and he's a little hopped up and angry, but he won't be pointing yet, so he'll spin into it, so he'll just go, yeah, so I think it'll be more of like a, so that he'll have his hands out, And it's funny because it's always been a battle between the two energies. Because even when Bob's at his most animated, he's not, you know, like leaning into shots. But I'm beginning to realize that there's something that just doesn't look right. If SpongeBob isn't a little more animated, as he, especially now, I've decided that the vocalizations with him. That thumb's a little too big, and this thumb is janky as heck. So, like many animators, me and Hans, you know, I just realized I don't have Hans in this episode. I have a lot of stuff in here, but there's just so much stuff that. All right, so let's get rid of this. Oh, we have an emergency alert. Emergency alert. A flash flood warning is in effect until 7:45 p.m. And I don't know if it's stopping the live stream right now. All right, if that interrupted TikTok completely, my apologies. Triss or Tristan, hello to both of you joining them, and hello to whoever is watching over on the YouTube, and please chime in. Yeah, so I got an emergency alert because the rain in Spain is coming on our plane over here in Southern California. All right. So we have our exasperated Bob. Yeah, that's looking a little. It's that whole thing of like, I don't know if I want him angry though, because maybe momentarily angry, or just like what, you know, and then the desperation leaks out and he goes into more of a panic. So in between the two, I'm going to need to have of him, you know, at least 3/4, you know, coming in through. So if he's going from here to here, then I need. Let's see. His waist is here, and his waist is here. And if he leans in, yeah, maybe I want his waist to be a little further down here. Yeah, the way his form normally goes. So let's erase this waistline. And of course, you know, he'll have his apron. And then on this frame, he'll have his apron coming just out of the shot. So in between, we need to. Hello to everyone who's been joining. Hello about Dead Dev. More invites as well. Emily, again, thanks for all those lovely gifts. So we now need to do an in between. Oh dear. Sometimes the onion skins is tough for me to make stuff out. Maybe if I bring my white layer back, which I need to rename because before the crash, there we go. All right, so let's try and sketch this in between real quick. So he's going to be at 3/4 view as he's turning, and he's going to be starting to lean in a little bit here. I'm trying to think about the arc as well, but it's more of a twist at this point. You know, actually, I think his turn radius will be more in this realm. So let's see if we put the eyes maybe here. All right, so to see where things are, this is where we get to the flipping stage. So I need to turn off these, and I need to. Now, theoretically, you need more frames in between like that, but this might be a start. All right, so it looks like nothing's too janky there, and then between these two. Yeah, so if it plays, I think it's an okay start. Not quite feeling it. I think I need so in the is this the tie down? It's like there's terms for all of this in the timing sheet. I mean, if I were really doing this full on, what you would see with animators, and you see this on some of my other roughs, is that you would have this movement put out onto a timing sheet or an expression sheet or an X sheet, depending on what show you're on. And you would be basically saying, okay, you want this turn to start on, what are we on, frame 8. So the turn starts at 8, and we're ending it on 13. So we go back to here, 13. So we've got a timing sheet here. It's like, okay, our start point is frame 8, our end point is 13. Depending on where you put that in between, that I think that's the tie down, because I feel like I'm missing a term there. And hello to everyone who's been joining. Alex Peck, hello. So in between the two, where you set that midpoint, because if you started at the beginning, then you're easing into the end of it faster. So if it's more of a whip and then he slows into it, then your midpoint would be maybe frame 9. If you want to just be a smooth thing from one to the other, then it would be between 8. So let's see. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you would just, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So your midpoint would be close to frame 10, maybe 11. If you wanted his thing to be more of a slow turn and still end on frame 13, then you would just wait and you would do the whip here. So we can actually show that. We're going to make this a new frame. It's a repeating frame. And then we have this one here. So, again, and we're going to loop it. We're going to loop this thing here. Give it a little bit of space. So if we play this right now, that's about the speed. And it looks a little weird just, that being that fast, since it is such a minor thing, at 24 frames a second. But you can change how that feels so much. Your biggest control point a lot of times in the emotion of an animation is your choice here at this midpoint. Because there have been videos on YouTube and whatnot that will show how if you totally change the energy, like the arc of it, it's like you can still have the same start point, same end point, but if in between, instead of him being like this, and that's the thing, is that maybe I need him to arc up. Actually, no, maybe I need him to swoop up into this. So maybe that's where I'm missing some of my emotion here, because right now it's just a robotic turn. And a lot of animation flows better if you do it on arcs. So let's, but also it's the timing. We were talking about the timing. So if we move this, well, the problem here is that it would still feel very much the same, because ultimately it's just 3 frames, and you would still see, it would just feel like a delay. It wouldn't necessarily feel like the energy. It would be better showed over the course like 5 frames. So, but what we can do is we can go, maybe we need more of an arc with him. So instead of him just half changing, let's exaggerate this frame even more. Let's have him squash a little bit. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're already down to our last few minutes, so we'll get this done. We'll and then we'll call it a day. And hello to everyone who's been joining. Hello, Jay. We are in our last few moments here. So if we put this, I'm going to grab a lasso tool and just grab this. Actually, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna make a new frame, and then we're going to delete all this. And if we turn our onion skin back on, and we only show that previous frame. Oh, that's what I changed the loop, not the. Bring it down to just your last frame. All right, so that's what we had. We can go with something more exaggerated, more him leaning in. So let's see. So if he's a sponge, and he squashes his way in before he comes up on Lynn. So maybe it's he actually needs a frame of anticipation too, where he goes like ah. So like he'll stretch up a frame. We can do that on this frame. let's just do a basic squash and stretch right now. So yeah, we're just going to do a quick anticipation frame, and all that can be is just a little bit of backing up into it. So if he were to just stretch out for just one frame in anticipation of this move, and maybe rear back just a little bit. So now what we have is just that little bit of a stretch before he goes into the turn. And if we use this as our coming down into it, if we need him to squash more, so let's have him really squash down. And he might even be blinking into this. Kind of that whole like, what? So he blinks. And I think I'll have his shoulders rise up as he squashes down. So let's actually show that just a little bit. So in the anticipation frame, it'll come up, and then I'll have, let's see. Let's bring these shoulders up even more. And then we'll definitely, no, we'll keep them there, see if that works. Let's see, if he's squashing, let's actually have his gut come up a little bit too, so that his whole sponge body is. And then, yeah, there's still too much there. We still definitely need one more in between here. Oh, let's take all this out. Let's turn our onion skin back on. All right, we're a couple minutes over, so we'll just we'll finish this out and we will call this a day. Once again, hello Butch. You're coming in just in the last few minutes as we're about to leave. Let's see here. So we want to bridge the gap between these two very different poses. Oh, come on, onion skin. Yep. So we've got a lot of work here to do, but he's coming up into it. So maybe something where he's part way back up into it, but hasn't still fully turned. But maybe his body is... No, that doesn't make any sense. I need him to come up into the shot. Erase these lines. So he's almost turned. So it's that whole thing of decisions of has he come up enough yet? How much more does he need to lean? And this is why you do rough animation, because if you do this and you scribble something real quick and you go, that's not working, you're not erasing 5, 10, or a half hours worth of work only to find out it doesn't flow. Do your mistakes in the roughs. So if he's still coming down into it, maybe his eyes would still be here. He's already saying what, Lynn? Mustache. Let's just see how that looks, and then we'll call this a day. And the other thing you got to watch for is something called secondary motion, or because he's whipping so fast, his hair would actually be catching a little bit in the breeze. You also have something called leading action, where something like a hand or an eye look is leading the action, which means before the body turns, something is indicating it. It's giving a very quick cue to the audience that something's about to move. So maybe it's the hand leading first, or it's the glance looking, and then the body follows in. So right now the eyes would definitely be leading that, looking at Lynn. Yeah. So it's still rough, but here's what we got. We've got, let's loop this, and this is where we will end our little day on just one simple gesture. But as you can see, it took 2 hours to get here. But we're going to loop this real quick, and we'll call it a day. Yeah. So now what I'm seeing is that that's a little, well, he's saying it very fast. He's going, "What, Lynn?" So maybe that does need to be fast, but right now, just looking at it, it's a little popping right now. But at least, maybe I just need him to say it and then turn more slowly. That's the whole deal. So like, so he squat. Yeah, he has a moment of like, yeah, he has a moment of anticipation, and then squashes into an arc. Wait, we have a blank frame in here. How did that happen? Well, let's clear that frame. Yeah, maybe he's just a little too in the face. But that's where we'll be leaving things off, as we are a few minutes over. So save in case we have another crash. So hello to everyone. To the few people who are still hanging around. We love you so much. TikTok, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed over on Movie Boys YouTube, go and subscribe and get ready for the notification, because in 2 weeks, in basically this time in 2 weeks, if we're not ready, we're in big trouble. But holy crap, guys! I'm gonna go fall down and make some more coffee, and the rain seems to have calmed, so we'll see 5 hours from now when Hillary comes through where we're at. But at least we didn't have any power outages. We only had a minor crash, so not a bad day. Our love to everyone over there in the land of TikTok, wherever you are. Our love to everyone on YouTube, even though I don't think anyone's watching on YouTube right now. They tend to check these out later on in the week. So for those of you who have been sitting here the whole time, holy cow, thank you. But 2 weeks away, baby. 2 weeks away on the Movie Boy YouTube channel. The video it's widescreen. It's too long for TikTok, but we will definitely still try and do some teasers. We've got to start getting the channel back up on TikTok to start sharing with people and show, that it's coming. That except for the people who came in the live stream, they'll now know. But we got to start letting people know and getting the viewers back and getting the algorithm back and all that fun and all that fun and all that fun. And it's always something here. It's always something. But time to say goodbye. So first we're going to say goodbye. Hello, Mark, and hello. Oh, let's see. My dad is angry. Oh, well, Max, I have been there, and I hope for the best. And the best sometimes takes some crazy turns. So hang in there. I myself have gone through a divorce, and it is not fun for anyone, and especially for the kids. So, but on that bittersweet note, stay safe, everyone. We love you. We will be back here for our final live stream before our premiere live stream. So come on back from 10 to noon then. And we are going to cancel this out. So first, I move my little mouse over to OBS, and I say goodbye to the YouTube people, to the people who aren't even watching right now. So we're going to stop streaming that. And it says, do you want to stop?